Yo, what is up guys, my name is Hakiii, and in this video I'm going to show you the best starter businesses in GTA 5 Online. There's many differently functioning businesses in the game at different price points, and I'm going to show you the best ones to own once starting off in GTA Online. If you go on to enjoy, be sure to drop a like on this video, and if you're new to the channel, go ahead and drop a sub so you never miss any more awesome videos like these. Turn on the notification bell too, and let's get straight into it. So we're going to go from the cheaper ones onto the more expensive, since starter businesses are for starters and they probably don't have as much money. And so the cheapest business you can get, it's not exactly a business, you're purchasing a property that has the business kind of like built into it, and those are going to be the high-end apartments. You can also include the penthouse apartments if you want, I guess, as well, but those ones are a bit more expensive and they do get you the same heist. There isn't really a reason to buy the penthouse ones. I recommend you go for the cheapest one since you're just starting out, which comes in at $200,000. That's the absolute cheapest one you can get, and the building itself is in a pretty good location as well. Basically how it works is you purchase a property and then you get like an L icon on the map for Leicester. You go to that location and then you get a little cutscene with Leicester, and then that basically unlocks all the heists you can do in that property that you just purchased, that is, not the Leicester icon. And it's not like it's one heist as well, it's actually a series of 5 total heists, and they're super nostalgic for players that have been playing the game forever. They're the very first heist we ever got in the game, and they're really fun actually. The Fleeka job is the first one, which is the shortest one. Then you got the prison break, which is really exciting, it's all dramatic and stuff. Then you got Humane Labs raid, then you got Series A funding, and then the Pacific Standard, which is like the big daddy of those series of heists. Now if you complete all 5 of them, including the setups leading up to each heist, it sums up to $2.5 million, which is a lot for starters. So you do get a solid amount of money for a beginner, but it can be a little tricky sometimes, and it would take you possibly a long time. Depends how efficient you are with it really. I wouldn't usually feature the high-end apartment heists just because they don't pay as much as other heists, but since this video is for beginners and it doesn't really cost much to start it up, I thought it does fit in this video. Let's move on to the arcade, which is a little bit more expensive than the high-end apartments. It depends which apartments you get, but it comes in at $1.235 million. That's the absolute cheapest one you can get. Now while that is the cheapest one you can get, I don't really recommend you guys buy that unless you guys want to drive like a ton, because the arcade is connected with the Diamond Casino heist, and the casino is extremely far away from Paleto Bay, which is where the cheapest arcade you can buy is. So I do recommend you guys buy one in the city, preferably the cheapest one you can find in the city, just to save you guys some money, because the most expensive ones are in the best locations, or I should say the most conveniently located arcades cost the most. I mean, it makes sense. As I mentioned before, it's connected with the Diamond Casino heist, and that's basically why the location actually matters. You don't want to be too far away from the casino just because you're gonna need to drive there a good amount. And so the arcade is the only way you can start up the Diamond Casino heist, which is undoubtedly one of the best heists in the game paying wise. I think it's actually the second highest paying heist in the entire game. This one, unlike the high-end apartments, is more for everybody, not only like beginners, since it pays really well. And also, unlike the high-end apartments, this is just one heist, it's not a series of heists. You can do all the setups completely solo, and then for the finale you need at least 1 friend to help you, and up to 3 friends, so 4 total people is the maximum of it. And if you're doing it with just 1 other friend, you can give him, let's say, 20%, and you can give yourself the majority since he's only helping you with the final mission, I guess the finale of it, because once again you can do the setups completely solo. So as an example, if you give yourself 80% of the cut, you're gonna make $1.6 million, and that's not including the first time bonus, and I'm pretty sure there's like another bonus, and your friend still makes 400k with his 20%, and that's just doing it one time. Once again, it's not a series of heists, it's just one heist. So almost $2 million for doing the heist one time is very good. You can do it as many times as you want. Besides that, you actually have the arcade side of the arcade. It's basically a passive income type of thing, so all you do is just play the game and you earn money that way. I'm not sure if that's the cap for everybody, but I do have a $50,000 cap on it, so once you reach 50k, it's gonna stop generating money and you have to collect it for it to keep going. There's just a safe you can collect it in, like next to your desk inside of the arcade. I absolutely love properties that you can make money both actively and passively, and through the little laptop in the arcade you can also buy some pretty cool thing like the Master Control Terminal, which lets you access all the different businesses you have in game, not just the arcade. You can also buy arcade machines themselves if you want to play like retro type games, and you can add a special weapon workshop, which then you can upgrade Mark II weapons and all that. Next up is the auto shop. It came out in in one of the more recent DLCs. It's mainly about customizing cars and just the car culture overall. It comes with a vehicle workshop and a 10-car garage completely for free, which is actually fairly rare to see. Stuff like the office, for example, you have to buy each thing separately. I mean, it is an auto shop, but knowing Rockstar, they could have made us have to buy those two things on top of the auto shop, like add-ons. All of the auto shop locations are in the city, so I guess you could go for the cheapest one. That would probably be the best decision if you're just starting out. Now, there are two main ways to make money with the auto shop. The first one is the less good one. That's the car lift side of the auto shop. Basically, you just customize a customer's car. It's going to tell you exactly which upgrades to put on the car, and then you need to deliver it to a certain location. And the better way is going to be through the mission board. They're kind of like mini heists. I like to see them as that. There's a couple different ones that don't really have any connection to each other. When you first go up to it, it's going to give you 3 different mini heists to start up, although there's more than 3, and you're going to just keep unlocking them as you do these heists, these mini heists, I'll say, and they pay a decent amount. They're not going to pay as much as a heist just because, I mean, these are shorter than a heist, so I guess it's reasonable for them to not pay as much as a heist. Would I do these over the best paying heist in the game? I wouldn't, but if you come across a time where you just don't feel like doing a full heist just because it's too long, this is a good mini heist to do. Once again, they are a bit shorter than a heist. Moving on to the agency, I absolutely love the agency. I think it's one of the best properties in the game, hands down. The property itself is really cool, and obviously it's really good to make money if it's on this list. The absolute cheapest agency goes for $2 million, and the most expensive one is $2.8 million. They're all in great locations. It really doesn't matter that much where you get it. Even if you go for the cheapest one, you're still going to be in a really good spot. The agency is really versatile when it comes to making money. It has many different ways. Let's start with the Dr. Dre heist itself, which is probably what it's best known for. You got a couple of setups you need to do, and then you have the finale. It's pretty straightforward. For the finale, you get a flat $1 million payout. I'm not 100% sure if there's a bonus or not. There might be. I mean, a first time bonus is usually there. I found the heist to be a little long just because there were a lot of cutscenes that weren't skippable, but maybe that's only for people doing it the first time. The storyline of the heist is really cool though. It's probably the best storyline out of all heists in the game. And then we also have a quicker money making method, which are these security contracts. If you know me, you know I love the security contracts. I think they're an awesome way of making money, especially if you combine them with other money making methods. You can do like a sick combination of missions and jobs to do. There's different levels to them. There's professional, there's specialist, and then specialist plus, which is the highest paying one. They pay anywhere from $35,000, which is the absolute lowest you can go with them, all the way up to like $70,000 or $80,000 in a matter of like couple of minutes as well. They really shouldn't take that long if you're efficient with them. A couple weeks ago, the security contracts were even double money, which gave you a ridiculous amount for just doing them a couple minutes each time. You can get like 120, 130K sometimes. When you go in the computer in the agency, you're going to select between 3 different types of security contracts with different levels. And if you go for the specialist plus, which once again does pay the most, I do recommend you do them with friends because they can get a bit difficult if you're doing solo. So it's not like they're extremely easy, but if you do it with friends, you guys should be able to complete it fairly quick. Just like with the arcade, you also have a nice passive income stream with the agency as well through the safe. As you keep playing GTA Online, doesn't matter what you do specifically, you're gonna generate money. And I believe it's capped at either 50,000 or 100,000. I'm not exactly sure. It might be a different cap for different people. The cool thing with this is you can control the rate of getting money. Pretty much the more security contracts you do, the faster it's going to be generating money each time. You got to do a lot of security contracts to increase the rate substantially. I know some people like to grind them so they could get to a crazy number like 500 completed security contracts. Let's move on to the biggest and best heist in the game, which is going to be through the Kosaka. Now the Kosaka is a vehicle, but to get to the Cayo Perico heist, which is once again the biggest and best, you have to buy the Kosaka, which goes for $2.2 million without any upgrades. You're gonna easily make that money back, and you can do the entire heist, the setups, and the finale completely solo if you wanted to. So all the solo warriors out there, this one's for you, but obviously to make it just a bit easier, you can do it with friends, but you might get a little bit less money. There's a lot of cool upgrades to it as well if you do have the money for it. You got the special weapon workshop. You also have like controllable remote missiles, which you can once again control yourself, and they go pretty freaking far. They have a solid range. And another awesome one is the Sparrow helicopter. It's a very light helicopter, but it's extremely fast, and it could help you in the Cayo Perico heist itself. The Kosaka isn't like the agency where there's a lot of different cool ways of making making money. It's only the Cayo Perico heist, but considering this is the biggest and best heist in the game, and you can make millions each time doing the heist, this still is considered the best way of making money. It feels like there's a whole community revolving around people just doing it back to back to back. And now that you know the best beginner businesses, click the video on screen now for the 10 most expensive things you can possibly buy in GTA Online. I hope you all enjoy that video, and peace.